This patent class, it's all about agave, it's tequila time. So we have two amazing guys from Mexico. Andres Moran is going to make us Cantarito drink, which is #1 tequila drink in Jalisco area. And then Senor Sergio Mendoza, the owner of Don Fulano Tequila, will walk us through the path of agave plant, how to grow it, how to mature it, how to have an amazing, proper agave for an honest tequila, how every tequila should be made. So hope you will enjoy.
Hey, my name is Andres Moran. I'm the brand ambassador for Tequila Don Fulano in Mexico, and I'm gonna introduce to you the Cantarito. Cantarito is a classic recipe from the 1912 during the Revolution War in Mexico. They were usually drank as a refreshing beverage to get ready in the battlefield. And this revolution was people from the fields, the farmers, against to the caciques, the people who owns the land in that time. So Cantarito means clay cup. The reason why the people who invented this cocktail use this is to keep the fresh ingredients inside cold. And it gives a little bit of a earthiness flavor from the clay. So the farmers, they know very well how to get the fresh juices from the fields, and they use those fresh juices to bring the freshness of this cocktail. No? So we're gonna start putting a little bit of pieces of fruit. It's a cocktail with tequila. We're gonna use 2 ounces of tequila Blanco. We're gonna pour 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1.5 ounces of grapefruit juice, 1 ounce of fresh squeezed orange juice, and we're gonna finish with a pinch of salt. We're gonna get all those earthy flavors from the clay. So we're gonna activate a little bit with the stir and a top of grapefruit soda. And we finish with more grapefruit and lime. There you go, the Cantarito.
Patent team is honored to have Senor Sergio Mendoza from Jalisco area. He's behind amazing Don Fulano tequila. They're doing a great job making traditional, proper, high quality tequilas, no additives, no nonsense. Please take it from here. I'm gonna serve you some Cantaritos that are like local treat in Jalisco area. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Nikola. Well, thanks guys for coming. We're gonna talk a little bit about tequila while we savor these Cantaritos, which is a typical drink from our area in tequila especially, but in Jalisco in general. No, we are producers of tequila, but we're first and foremost agave farmers, and we're going to focus on that part, no, the agricultural part of tequila making, which for us is the heart and soul of tequila. No, tequila above all is an agricultural product. No. The process of making tequila we can divide in 3 pillars, no? Which is the agricultural part, in which we're gonna focus today, the craft or the distillery part, which is of course what we understand as cooking, fermentation, distillation, which is usually what most people, most brands center on when they speak about tequila making. And then there's a very interesting third pillar, which is maturation, which is also fascinating with lots of complexity, no? But we're gonna go to this essence of tequila, which is of course the agave, no? I think we're finally coming to understand tequila as one of the big not only tequila, agave spirits as one of the big families of spirits, no? Outside of Mexico, the consumers started seeing this tequila emerging and becoming popular with all sorts of connotations and ideas about it. No, we all have followed kind of the trend that tequila has followed, from a drink for students to get drunk fast, no, with low quality products that were the first to be exported, sometimes mixtos tequilas, and even others that were even produced in other areas, no, of Mexico without using the agave, just using the name. And this is when the appellation of origin comes to protect tequila as something very special, no? So from there, the communication and the education starts to happen and to build from the understanding that, okay, tequila is agave, no? And tequila is not by denomination, but by definition, mezcal, no? Mezcal kind of being this big umbrella that holds all agave spirits from Mexico. Of course, tequila being one of them, no? From a very specific area, which is primarily the state of Jalisco and surroundings. But tequila is, by definition, one of the big mezcals of Mexico, no? The one that gained more popularity. And then, of course, there's behind tequila all this amazing diversity of agave spirits, no? But what I wanted to get at is that we're finally in this time beginning to understand agave spirits as one of the big families of spirits, no? That's just to put it very over the top. We have the whiskeys, for example, no, with a common denominator of grain, no, the use of wheat and rye, etc., from different parts, from Scotland, of course, America being a big producer of whiskeys, but now other places, no, even Asian countries, no, but as a big family, no. Then you have the brandies, no, where you have a little bit more complexity in the raw material, but still having its maturation. So remember this third pillar to get a lot of its complexity, no? And of course we have the rums and, you know, sugar cane, also more from the Caribbean, from the tropics, etc. But agave spirits, which center in Mexico, now there is production of agave spirits in other places, which is something we're starting to see and explore, and I'm excited at least to see what comes out. But agave spirits, of course, the agave is the common denominator, and agave, when we look into it, is one of the most biodiverse plants that we can find, no? So, of course, the diversity of spirits all around Mexico is incredible, no? And it all comes down to this beauty of the plant and all the agriculture that has to do with it, no? Nikola had the opportunity to be down there last week, no? To work. We do a work program, and he had a chance to spend some time in the fields, no? I was very fortunate to be born into a family of agave farmers, no? We became tequila makers much later, but we are agave farmers, no? In the beginning, we supplied agave to the growing tequila industry, especially in one of the two main regions, which is Los Altos, the Jalisco or the highlands. Within the state of Jalisco, you have Los Altos and you have the valleys of tequila, no? Including the town of Tequila, which is in the valleys, which of course gives the name to this particular mezcal, no? That's how tequila became tequila. It was the vino mezcal from tequila, no? In a similar way than cognac, for example, is a brandy from this place in France, no? Which is cognac and surroundings. The same thing with tequila. Tequila, from being one of the many mezcals of Mexico, because of its specificity, which is the blue agave, which is one kind of agave among many, many kinds, which is the most prominent agave in that particular region, and also the fact that it was one of the first of all the agave spirits to use steam for the cooking, no? And here I come to the two essential parts, no? The agave, the raw material, and that transformation, which is cooking, no? The name mezcal literally means these two things, no? Mezcal comes from two words that are metal and ishkali, no? Metal ishkali is what we know as mezcal, and it's metal refers to the plant, to the agave, and ishkali literally means cooking, no? So we're talking about a spirit distilled from cooked agave, no? Which is obviously first fermented. You can never make a spirit without first making a wine, no? But the importance of the soil, I'm going to make a lot of emphasis in this, is because, I mean, we can speak about the plant itself for hours and hours, but just to put it simply, the agave plant produces some of the most complex sugars that we can find, no? It's a plant that, depending the species, but specifically talking about the blue agave, takes between 7, 8, 9, 10 years to reach an optimum point of maturity, no? And every plant is a full life cycle. It's not like grapes, for example, to make wine, no? Where the vine, the plant remains, no? You only harvest the fruit every year, no? And every year the plant gives more fruit. It's not the same with agave, no? The agave is a full life cycle. You plant it, it grows, it matures, it develops, and once you harvest it, that's it, no? You need to plant a new agave and continue, no? And the process, the physiological process of maturation is going to be very, very important, no? And that is where the complexity of flavors comes in tequila, no? In that maturity, no? So we are going to, as tequila producers and as agave farmers, we're going to select agave plant by plant, no? We're going to choose within a field. It might take us 2 years to harvest a single field, no? At 6 years, we can start maybe harvesting 20, 30% of the field. And then a few months later, we go back and then select a couple others. And then same, no? Because the optimum maturity of the agave, we know that it's going to result in the complexity that we're looking for, no? Tequila and agave spirits in general are very unique, but are very unique in a very specific way. You can literally get a glass as to the product that is coming out of the still, and you have a product that is already mature, no? So let's understand this concept that agave spirits mature not only in the barrels after distillation, no? They've been maturing for years and years in the field. So you can literally get a glass out of the still and you have a spectrum of aromas and flavors that you usually don't find in spirits at this stage, no? You have fruit elements, you have spice elements, you have vegetal elements, you have floral elements, all these wide spectrum. So that's why the beauty of tequilas, of mezcals, when they are natural products, that they have had this time of growth, of maturation, no, all the patience that it requires in the fields, of course, in the fermentation, distillation, and maturation, no? But particularly in the fields, because what happens today, we all see that tequila is in a great moment, no? There's a lot of growth, and that's amazing, no? There's opportunities for lots of brands and producers and farmers, but of course, this pressure of the market and also the lack of commitment and really understanding of everything, the cultural and historical layers that are behind tequila, things are simplified and are pushed and are industrialized. No, the agave farming aspect is treated more and more as a commodity, where distillers just buy agave in the open market when the agave is not harvested for its maturity, but it's instead harvested just by a chronological measurement, no? Saying, okay, if the agave is 5 years, okay, it's ready to be harvested, no? But a lot of these agaves, being young, will not offer this richness of flavors, no? what happens, it's very technical, but just to put it simply, the plant itself that produces all these very complex sugars, it produces them in very long molecular chains, no? So pretty much they're inaccessible. It is only at the last stage of the growth of the agave that the same plant will release enzymes and it will start breaking down these complex chains to release energy, no? Of course, the plant doesn't do it to give us great tequilas, it does it for reproduction purposes because it will literally grow a massive quiote, which is almost a tree that grows in the center of the plant and then flowers, and then those seeds are pollinized, and that's how the agave reproduces, no? And all the energy that the plant needs to do this process, that's why it starts breaking and releasing all this energy and this life, basically, no? So that is what we need as a producer to express in the product, no? So we say that we need to let the agave start its own internal factory, its own internal process, in order for us to just continue it at the distillery by a slow cooking that is going to complete this transformation. And of course, a fermentation that at this point, if you have been patient enough to let this process happen, the fermentation will be almost, not almost, it will be completely natural, and it will follow naturally, no? Because there's the sugars, there's the enzymes, there's the richness, there's the life activity that is going to make this natural fermentation, no? And after that, it's just the distillation where the human sensibility, the master distiller plays a bigger role to kind of compose with this symphony of flavors and aromas, no? We're going to do an exercise right now. I don't know if we're gonna try three Blanco tequilas. They're all out of our fields, from different fields and from different distillations, no? Two of them are building blocks from two different distillations. So one is a pot still, a copper pot still, Blanco. The other is a coffee column still, Blanco. And the third, which we'll tell you which one is it, is a combination of the two, which makes our Don Fulano Blanco tequila, no? And this is very important for us because really we feel that tequila, natural, authentic, true, historic tequila is selected mature agave, proprietary yeast, and spring water, no? Nothing else, no additives, no glycerins, no colorants, no flavor agents, which we have to understand that the tequila normative allows producers to use, no? Tequila is a very, very regulated spirit category, no? And in terms of regulation, it's impressive. Probably it's the most regulated spirit category. But it allows at the level of normative producers to do some things, no? First of all, the maturity of the agave was removed from the normative, no? Producers do not, there is nothing in the norm that says that farmers have to wait certain years to harvest the agave, no? And unfortunately, as we said, that is the key element, because if your agave is not mature, just to put it bluntly, there is nothing else you can do in the process to make up for it, no? If your agave is mature, you're not there yet, you still need to ferment and distill, but you're more than half the way to making a good product, no? Because you have the complexity, no? So first of all, part of my family were part of the founders of the Regulatory Council of Tequila, and in the first normative, it was very clear that tequila was the result of a spirit that came from mature agaves, no? In a second revision of the normative, they removed the word mature, no? So we can find in shelves bottles or brands that say 100% agave tequila, no? So a lot of people still think today that that is the sign of a high quality product, no? But honestly, it is not, no? The fact that something says 100% agave on the label does not really speak about quality, because the quality, as we've been saying, has to do with the maturity of the agave that allows you to do a natural process, no? Otherwise, by using young agaves, as a producer, you kind of have to push and push the process, no? You have to adjust many things in fermentation and et cetera, no? So unfortunately, a lot of tequilas also use at the end additives to make up for the lack of patience and craft in the process, no? And that is allowed, no? They're not doing anything illegal. The norm of tequila allows for up to 1% of volume or 5 grams per liter of certain additives, no? The most common are, of course, glycerin to soften, to make it rounder, to hide the sharp edges, vanilla extracts, caramel, oak extracts, additives to flavor and to make up for the loss of complexity, no? But everything that we're going to try today, everything that we do at our distillery 1146 is completely made up of 3 ingredients, no? State-grown agave that we farm ourselves, proprietary yeast, so the yeast that we cultivate from the same agave, and in our case, spring volcanic water, because we're next to the tequila volcano, no? Which acts as a massive sponge, filters water, and we get water from a well within our distillery. Nothing else. There's no glycerins, there's no colorants, there's no additives, no? We're by no means the only tequila that is like that. There is great tequilas. There is some amazing producers. And this kind of category within the category is starting to form, no, and build as well, no? The additive-free, authentic, natural tequilas, no? Same with mezcal. So we're very, very happy and fortunate for amazing bars here in New York City, but all over the U.S., which is, of course, a country that has almost made tequila their own, no? It's amazing the reception of tequila that this country has, but also in Europe and in Asia, you start seeing a lot this appreciation and also this knowledge, no? This understanding of what a true agave spirit, what a true mezcal, what a true tequila is, no? And for us, that is the essential, because when you drink a product like this, it's not only about the flavor, no, which of course is very important, all this richness, all this beauty, but it's also about everything that it gives you, no, that almost journey back into the fields, into the soil of Jalisco, no, the soils that we have in the highlands of Jalisco, which are very different soils, no, from red soils that have high iron, high mineral content, to white soils that are chalk soils that give a completely different expressions, and it really takes you back to those fields, to the sun that the plant has received for 8 years, no, and the rainy seasons that they have experienced. No, it's like wine, no. For example, in wine, it's all about the year, no, how much it rained, what were the conditions of that particular year that will reflect in the product, no. I mean, whether we fully grasp it consciously or unconsciously, you are getting all those imprints in the wine, no? But also in a good natural agave spirit, it's the same, but times 7 or times 8, because it's all these years. And of course, we all understand agave spirits to offer this uplifting, vibrating quality, no, that we enjoy, no. So yeah, we're proponents of that. Of course, we cannot expect that all the tequila that is produced be natural, authentic, additive free, because of course there's also that need to make millions of margaritas and in thousands and thousands of bars. So there are other more industrial ways of producing tequila, no? But as long as the consumer is informed and understand what is what, I think it's good for the category and for producers like us, no? So I really appreciate the invitation, Nikola, and I don't know where we are at the tasting, but I suggest that you go back and forth. I mean, these are all 3 ways of the agave to express, all natural, different distillations. No, we're even at different alcohol contents, but try them side by side and go back and forth and see how the plant and the soil and what we know as the terroir expresses through these products. No? And these products are actually building blocks of Don Fulano. No? So they're all in there. Actually, one of them is the finished product. Is the last batch number,
not
no?
Yet. I'm gonna
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So you guys on your left, you all have a sample from our column stool. That one seems to me like it's quite high in alcohol. Not sure what it is. Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, it's around 47%. No, actually, it's 53. 53% column
Right.
still. No?
And then to your right, you have a pot still sample. So as Sergio said, kind of like the building blocks of what make up the finished product in the end, but not a finished product.
And the pot still sample is also a little bit higher, but not as high. It's around 45.
And I'm gonna pass out next the Blanco.
The Blanco Fuerte, which is
no, the regular Blanco.
the regular Blanco. Sorry, which is it's the latest batch that we prepared. I see that here at patent pending. You're in batch number 9. And this one we're passing is batch number 13, that it's being bottled almost as we speak. No? We brought this sample directly from Mexico a couple days ago. But try to feel like the plant, all this flavor spectrum. No, we in Don Fulano, we have a fruit side, which is typical of highland agave because of the altitude and the slow maturation. But we also have the spice and the vegetal side and the minerality that comes from the volcanic water that we use. No? So try to feel all these elements at play in the building blocks and then how they finish in the finished product. No? But keep in mind that every time you drink a tequila or a mezcal, keep in mind how does the agave express itself. That is really the beauty, no? And we do have we opened the invitation to you, as Nikola just went. We have a couple trips that we organize, even with some producing friends, no, for Fortaleza Tequila and Arete Tequila. We do these industry trips, and you're very welcome to come, because when you experience, no, especially the agave being cooked, and you grab a chunk of agave and you just try it, it's really life-changing, because you understand what tequila is about. No, you will never ever forget that flavor, and then it will be so much easier to identify it in a product. Okay, this is the agave that I'm tasting, or no, this is just a bomb of vanilla and caramel and spice elements that was added to a vodka, no? That was made from agave, no? Which is really what we drink sometimes, no? Products labeled as tequila 100% agave that are produced with young agaves, not cooked. Remember that cooked is part of the essence of tequila, so some producers don't even cook the agave anymore. They do use these things called diffusers, that they do a cold extraction and then distilled in column stills, but to 90% alcohol. So basically a vodka, no, a neutral spirit that it's then flavored to taste as a tequila.
So speaking of the flavors, what was kind of the big deal for me is that like you can get vanilla flavor from the barrel because of tannins and the fibers and the structure of the wood, but also you can get even in Blanco tequila vanilla flavors because vanilla can form in the fibers of agave plant.
Absolutely,
correct, right?
Yes, absolutely. They're of course not as marked and as bold, but you can definitely get it all the way into that spectrum. Specifically vanilla. It's a difficult aromatic part to express. No, when you find it in a natural tequila, it's very pleasing. No, because but definitely vanilla, spice, beautiful fruit notes, floral elements, no, which are also difficult, and it's really nice. In our reposado, if you have a chance, try it. That has a really nice, very elegant balance of these aromas. No. We, of course, our blancos, what you're trying, we do not age in wood, but we do rest for at least 6 months, no, in stainless steel, no, to let them also develop and expand its aromatic profile. But all the products that we do age from Don Fulano, the reposado, the añejo, the extra añejo, we age in particularly French oak, French limousine, and French Nevers. A little bit of Slovak oaks and Hungarian oaks, but that were mainly used for wine before, no? Red wines from Burgundy, from the Loire, from Bordeaux, and a little bit of Calvados, of sherry, come into the blend as well. No, we released, as you guys beautifully have, a 20-year anniversary. This is a fully oloroso and amontillado sherry cask añejo. No, it's about 2 years, even though it has product of up to 8 years as part of the blend. No, but try it. It's very, very unique. Don Fulano Imperial also has a sherry cask finish, so it expresses this texture of the sherry, but not as boldly as the anniversary. And all the rest, the añejo, for example, is not, as most añejos, it's not a heavy on the chocolate and coconut. It's drier, no? The dry spice, like cardamom, a little bit of vanilla, and an underlying sweetness that comes from the agave.
So I have one more question for you.
Yes,
actually.
absolutely.
Talking about like how agave needs to be mature, how do you treat the soil so the soil is actually like healthy for the plants to grow after harvest, because it takes like 7, 8, 9 years?
Very important question. Of course, when we're trading with agriculture, with farming agave, and that's one of the big challenges that the tequila industry is facing. No, you need to care for the soil. No, that is like basic agriculture. No. Unfortunately, in these days, we do that, or we grow crops, not only agave, but also agave, with a heavy use of agrochemicals. No? Remember, we come from a farming background, so we still use traditional farming practices, which is basically milpa, or rotation of crops. No? We never plant agave and agave and agave and agave. Every cycle of agave that we plant in a field, remember, it might take us a couple years at the end of the cycle to finish the harvest. Then we're going to plant at least 2 cycles of other crops, no? Primarily legumes, no? Chickpeas, beans, because those fix nitrogen back into the soil, but also corn and squash and chia seeds. Sometimes we even do multi-crop at the same time, no? In one single field, we have agave and beans, agave, beans, or even lime, citrus, multi-crops, because that keeps the stability of the soil, no? That allows you to use way less agrochemicals, no? You're using the crop rotation to balance your fields, because we own our soil, no? That's where we produce our products, no? So, of course, we want that soil keeps giving us a product in 100, in 200 years, no? Also with the growth of tequila and with agriculture in general, no? There's a lot of agriculture is done on rented soil, no? On a lease system. And of course, in those cases, whoever rents the land, who also receives money from investment funds, from different people, collect money to expand their footprint of growth, and they of course want to get the most out of it by using a lot of agrochemicals, monocultives, no, agave. So in a short period, in 10 years, 15 years, those soils are completely depleted, no? You cannot farm anything there anymore, no? So of course, it's not their land. They give it back and they continue to rent. No, that is a big problem we're seeing. So that's another thing to keep in mind. No, the practices of agriculture and sustainability.
I'm just gonna say the last thing I just brought you guys is the Blanco Fuerte, so also finished product. So the last two samples you got were finished products. This one is almost or 100% pot still, so you can compare it with the second sample you got in terms of, kind of flavor profile. And that one is bottled at 100 proof, so it's gonna be a bit stronger.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Any other question, guys? Comments? What did you like most? What did you feel in the samples tasted? Yeah, good. Different, no? The pot and column seal, they're both different, but they both have very interesting things to offer. No? Of course, the pot still is deep, rich, a little bit more complex and bold, and the coffee still usually is more delicate, no? But still with a lot of the expression of the agave. No? In Don Fulano, we use both distillations. No? Not always precise, but more in a 80-20 basis. No? 80 being the pot still with 20 the coffee still, more or less. No? All right. Well, thanks for the time. Thanks for the invitation, my friend.
Sergio, it was an absolute honor.
Your bar is a bit cold, but other than that, it's on point.
Everybody is having a warm heart, so it's okay. Thank you for being guest at Patent Pending, and thank you for sharing just a bit of your knowledge that it's vast in that industry. And we are very glad to have somebody who is actually doing honest product for generations, that's more in your blood.
Thank you so much, and we're very happy to have you in Mexico. So come back and please invite your team to visit us anytime. I will be happy to have you.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Salud. Taquitos.
And what was the first drink? You said it was like a traditional local beer?
The Paloma, they were doing, this is a tea, but not Paloma, sorry, the Cantaritos. It's a drink that they use doing Jalisco, and what is called Cantarito is the vessel, no? It's made of clay, but basically it's tequila and a mix of citrus, no? Orange, lime. We have in Mexico a thing called sweet lime. So mix of citrus with tequila, no? And salt. And it's very refreshing, no? In hot days. Yeah, exactly.